Most adults over 60 have absolutely no idea that their kidneys may already be struggling before breakfast even begins. And what scares me as a kidney specialist is that the damage often starts with something people repeat every single morning without thinking twice about it. A bowl of sugary cereal, toast and jam, sweetened yogurt, processed breakfast meats, a large flavored coffee loaded with sugar. These foods may look harmless, comforting even, but inside an aging body, they can create a dangerous chain reaction that silently overwhelms the kidneys before 9 a.m. And by the time symptoms finally appear, years of hidden stress may have already damaged the tiny filtering units your body depends on to survive. I'm Dr. Lucas Grant, and after decades working with older adults struggling with rising creatinine, chronic inflammation, swelling, fatigue, and declining kidney function, I began noticing something deeply disturbing. Many of them were unknowingly starting each day in the worst possible way for their kidneys. Not because they were careless, not because they wanted to hurt themselves, but because nobody ever explained what actually happens inside your kidneys overnight and why the first meal of the morning matters so much more after 60. While you sleep, your kidneys never truly rest. For 6 to 8 straight hours, they continue filtering toxins from your blood, balancing sodium and potassium, regulating fluids, stabilizing blood pressure, and cleaning metabolic waste from every cell in your body. Millions of microscopic kidney filters are still working in darkness while the rest of your body sleeps peacefully. But here's the problem. By morning, those tiny filters are already tired, slightly inflamed, slightly dehydrated, and far more vulnerable than they were when you were 40 years old. That's why so many older adults wake up with swollen fingers, puffy eyes, dry mouth, brain fog, foamy urine, low energy, or the feeling that they need coffee immediately just to function. Most people blame aging, but often, these are the early warning signs that the kidneys are quietly struggling under years of inflammation, blood sugar spikes, and silent overload. And today, I want to show you something most seniors have never been told. The right breakfast can either calm and support your kidneys for the rest of the day or push them deeper into stress before your morning is even halfway over. In fact, one of the most powerful kidney-supporting foods in America is something almost nobody thinks to eat for breakfast, yet it may help aging kidneys protect themselves in ways that are truly remarkable. What makes this situation even more dangerous is that many of the worst breakfast foods for kidney health are the exact foods Americans have been told are completely normal for decades. Sweet cereals, white toast, pastries, flavored oatmeal packets, fast food breakfast sandwiches, processed bacon, sausage, sugary yogurt, oversized coffee drinks loaded with syrup and creamers. These foods create a metabolic storm inside aging kidneys almost immediately after eating them. And after 60, the body simply does not recover from that storm the same way it once did. The moment blood sugar spikes rapidly, your kidneys are forced into emergency regulation mode. Tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys begin experiencing inflammatory stress, almost like microscopic friction scraping against delicate filtering tissue over and over again. At the same time, excess sodium from processed breakfast foods disrupts fluid balance, increases blood pressure, and places even more strain on kidney filters that may already be weakening with age. Then comes the oxidative stress, unstable molecules called free radicals, damaging kidney cells hour after hour without causing obvious pain at first. That is why kidney decline is often called a silent disease. The damage builds quietly long before people ever hear the word creatinine from their doctor. And what worries me most is that millions of seniors repeat this exact cycle every single morning, believing they are eating convenient, comforting breakfasts. But your first meal after waking is either creating inflammation or calming it, either helping your kidneys recover from the night or forcing them into survival mode before your day has truly begun. Which is exactly why the first food on this list may be one of the simplest and most powerful kidney protective habits you can start tomorrow morning. The first breakfast food may look almost too simple to matter, which is exactly why so many people underestimate how powerful it can be for aging kidneys. A properly prepared bowl of oatmeal can completely change the way your kidneys experience the first half of your day. And I do not mean the sugary instant packets covered in artificial flavoring. I mean real rolled oats prepared the right way. Because one of the biggest hidden threats to kidney health after 60 is not just sodium or dehydration. It is chronic, low-grade inflammation triggered every single morning by rapid blood sugar spikes. When older adults begin the day with sweet pastries, white bread, sugary cereal, or flavored coffee drinks, glucose floods the bloodstream almost instantly. Your kidneys are then forced to filter that sudden metabolic overload while already exhausted from working all night. Over time, this repeated inflammatory assault damages the tiny filtering structures called nephrons, slowly reducing kidney function year after year without creating obvious symptoms early on. That is where oatmeal becomes so important. Rolled oats contain a special soluble fiber called beta-glucan that forms a thick gel-like texture inside the digestive tract, slowing the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream and preventing the violent glucose spikes that place aging kidneys under stress. Instead of your kidneys being hit with a wave of inflammation at 7 a.m., oatmeal creates a slow, gentle release of energy your body can actually manage. I remember one patient in her early 70s telling me she always felt shaky, swollen, and exhausted by late morning, no matter how much coffee she drank. When we replaced her usual breakfast pastries with plain oatmeal topped with blueberries and cinnamon, something surprising happened within a few weeks. Her energy stabilized. Her morning puffiness improved, and she stopped feeling like her body was crashing before noon. That is the hidden power of reducing inflammation consistently. Oatmeal also contains unique antioxidants called avenanthramides, compounds found almost nowhere else in nature that help protect kidney tissue from oxidative stress while supporting healthier blood flow throughout the body. And unlike many typical American breakfast foods, oatmeal is naturally low in sodium and gentle on aging kidneys, already struggling to balance minerals efficiently. But preparation matters enormously here. Always choose plain rolled oats, never flavored instant packets loaded with added sugar. Cook them with water or unsweetened almond milk. Then add fresh blueberries, cinnamon, or even a small drizzle of raw honey if needed. A calm breakfast creates calmer kidneys. But reducing inflammation is only one part of protecting kidney function after 60, because aging kidneys also need something many seniors are unknowingly losing every single year: the ability to repair themselves efficiently. One of the biggest misconceptions I hear from older adults is the belief that they should avoid protein completely if they are worried about kidney health. And while it is true that heavily processed meats and excessive protein can place additional strain on damaged kidneys, the truth is far more complicated than most people realize. Your kidneys still need repair material after 60. In fact, one of the hidden reasons many seniors feel weaker, more fatigued, and slower to recover with age is because the body gradually loses its ability to repair tissue efficiently, and that includes the microscopic tissues inside the kidneys themselves. Every single day, your kidneys are repairing tiny amounts of wear and tear caused by years of filtering blood, regulating pressure, balancing minerals, and processing inflammatory waste. Without enough high-quality protein, that repair process becomes slower and less effective over time. This is exactly why eggs can be so valuable as part of a kidney-friendly breakfast. Eggs contain one of the highest biological value proteins found in any whole food, meaning your body can use almost all of that protein efficiently with very little waste left behind for the kidneys to filter out. That matters enormously after 60 because aging kidneys are already under pressure. Foods like processed sausage, bacon, deli meats, and greasy fast food breakfasts create a much heavier filtration burden while also flooding the body with sodium, preservatives, and inflammatory fats that quietly accelerate kidney stress. But eggs work differently. They provide strength without creating the same metabolic overload. Egg whites are especially important because they contain albumin protein. The same type of protein healthy kidneys are designed to preserve in the bloodstream. When kidneys become damaged, that protein can begin leaking into the urine, which is often one of the earliest warning signs doctors look for. Eggs also contain selenium, a powerful antioxidant mineral that helps protect kidney cells from oxidative damage, along with choline, a nutrient that supports healthy cell membrane function as tissues age. And preparation matters here just as much as the food itself. Boiled eggs, poached eggs, or lightly scrambled eggs cooked with water instead of butter are far gentler on the kidneys than fried breakfasts dripping in grease and sodium. I often recommend adding fresh parsley, turmeric, or black pepper instead of salt to reduce inflammatory stress while still keeping flavor satisfying and comforting. Because after 60, protecting kidney function is not about starving the body. It is about giving the body cleaner fuel to rebuild itself more efficiently. And what happens next inside aging kidneys may surprise you even more, because one of the most powerful forms of kidney protection does not come from protein at all, but from deep blue pigments capable of calming overnight oxidative damage before it silently spreads further through the body. What many people never realize is that some of the most damaging stress on aging kidneys happens silently overnight while the body is asleep. Hour after hour, your kidneys continue filtering waste, balancing fluids, and cleaning the bloodstream, which means that by morning, exhausted kidney cells are often surrounded by inflammatory waste products and oxidative stress. That is exactly why blueberries can be so powerful after 60. These tiny deep blue berries contain some of the most aggressive natural antioxidant compounds ever studied for kidney protection. The dark pigment inside blueberries, called anthocyanins, works almost like a microscopic shield against the free radicals that slowly damage kidney tissue over time. And timing matters here more than most people think. When blueberries are eaten in the morning, those antioxidants enter the bloodstream right when aging kidneys are most vulnerable after working all night long. Instead of allowing oxidative stress to continue spreading through delicate kidney tissue for the rest of the day, blueberries help interrupt that process early. I once had a patient in his late 60s tell me he constantly woke up feeling puffy, mentally foggy, and exhausted before noon, even though his sleep looked normal on paper. After consistently adding blueberries and reducing sugary breakfast foods, he noticed something surprising within weeks: steadier energy, less morning heaviness, and fewer crashes during the day. Blueberries have also been studied for their potential ability to reduce kidney fibrosis, the slow scarring process that permanently replaces healthy kidney tissue with stiff, non-functioning tissue as people age. That is one of the hidden dangers behind rising creatinine and declining kidney function that most adults never feel happening in real time. Fresh or frozen blueberries both work well, especially added to oatmeal or plain Greek yogurt. And while blueberries are powerful, the next food may be the most shocking breakfast choice on this entire list, because almost nobody in America thinks of it as a kidney-supporting breakfast food, even though it may help aging kidneys repair some of their most vulnerable internal structures. If all of this feels overwhelming, I want you to take a deep breath for a moment and remember something incredibly important. Kidney damage does not usually happen overnight, and supporting your kidneys does not require perfection overnight either. What matters most after 60 is consistency. Small daily choices repeated week after week can completely change the amount of inflammatory stress your kidneys experience over time. I have seen older adults improve their energy, stabilize their creatinine, reduce swelling, and simply feel more alive again by changing only a few breakfast habits and staying consistent with them. Your kidneys are still fighting for you every single day, even now. And the next breakfast food may be one of the most overlooked kidney-supporting foods I have ever discussed with patients because almost nobody expects it to help the kidneys this much. This next breakfast food surprises almost every patient I mention it to because most Americans associate it with Thanksgiving dinner, holiday casseroles, or sugary side dishes, not kidney health. But what if I told you that one of the most underrated foods for protecting aging kidneys may already be sitting in grocery stores across the country right now? Sweet potatoes contain specific nutrients that may help support some of the most vulnerable structures inside aging kidneys after 60. And once you understand what is happening deep inside kidney tissue as the body ages, you will never look at this food the same way again. Inside, your kidneys are microscopic tubular pathways responsible for reabsorbing nutrients, balancing fluids, and preventing important substances from leaking out of the body. Over time, chronic inflammation, unstable blood sugar, high blood pressure, and oxidative stress slowly wear down these delicate tubular cells. The damage happens silently for years. Most people never feel it in the beginning, but eventually the kidneys become less efficient, more inflamed, and more vulnerable to long-term decline. That is where sweet potatoes become surprisingly powerful. Sweet potatoes are rich in beta-carotene, the deep orange pigment the body converts into vitamin A, a nutrient that plays a critical role in maintaining healthy epithelial cells lining those tiny kidney tubules. In simple terms, these nutrients help support the integrity of the kidney's internal filtration pathways at a time when aging kidneys desperately need more protection, not less. Sweet potatoes also provide slow-digesting complex carbohydrates that release glucose steadily into the bloodstream, instead of causing the violent spikes triggered by sugary cereals, pastries, or white bread. That matters enormously, because repeated blood sugar surges act like inflammatory shock waves inside kidney blood vessels day after day. But sweet potatoes create a steadier energy curve that aging kidneys can tolerate far more gently. They are also packed with vitamin C, manganese, and antioxidant compounds that help reduce oxidative stress while supporting the body's natural anti-inflammatory defenses. And one thing I want to emphasize here is that this is not about chasing miracle foods. It is about reducing the total daily burden placed on your kidneys so they have a chance to function more efficiently over time. Now, if you already have advanced kidney disease or have been told to restrict potassium, you do need to speak with your doctor because sweet potatoes naturally contain moderate potassium levels. But many people are never told that preparation changes everything. Peeling, cutting, boiling, and draining sweet potatoes can significantly lower potassium content while still preserving many of the nutritional benefits. I often recommend roasting several sweet potatoes at the beginning of the week with a small amount of olive oil, cinnamon, and turmeric so they are ready to reheat in minutes for breakfast. Paired with eggs or blueberries, they create a deeply satisfying meal that supports stable energy instead of morning crashes. And the most fascinating part is that the next food on this list may help protect your kidneys in a completely different way, not through blood sugar or antioxidants, but through the hidden connection between your gut bacteria and kidney inflammation that most seniors have never even heard about. What researchers have discovered in recent years has completely changed the way many kidney specialists think about chronic kidney decline after 60, because as in some people, the problem may not begin inside the kidneys at all. It may begin inside the gut. Your digestive system and your kidneys are connected far more deeply than most Americans realize. An unhealthy gut bacteria may quietly increase inflammation throughout the body every single day. This relationship is now known as the gut-kidney axis, and it helps explain why some older adults continue struggling with fatigue, rising creatinine, bloating, swelling, and inflammation, even when they believe they are eating relatively healthy diets. When the gut microbiome becomes unbalanced through aging, processed foods, stress, excessive sugar, or repeated antibiotic use, harmful bacteria begin producing inflammatory waste compounds called uremic toxins. Those toxins eventually enter the bloodstream. And guess which organs must work constantly to filter them out? Your kidneys. In many ways, aging kidneys become the cleanup crew for an unhealthy gut environment. That is exactly why plain Greek yogurt can be so powerful as part of a kidney-friendly breakfast routine. Plain Greek yogurt contains beneficial probiotic bacteria like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium that help restore healthier microbial balance inside the digestive tract. As these healthier bacteria grow, they help reduce inflammatory compounds while supporting the production of short-chain fatty acids that may calm inflammation throughout the body, including inside delicate kidney tissue. Some studies have even shown improvements in creatinine-related markers when gut health is consistently supported over time. And what makes Greek yogurt especially valuable after 60 is that it also provides high-quality protein without the same heavy sodium and preservative burden found in processed breakfast meats. But there is one major trap here that millions of people fall into every morning. Most flavored yogurts sold in American grocery stores are loaded with added sugars, syrups, candy toppings, artificial flavorings, and sweetened fruit mixtures that create the exact inflammatory blood sugar spikes aging kidneys are trying to avoid. A breakfast that looks healthy on the label can still quietly stress your kidneys if hidden sugar is driving inflammation underneath it all. That is why plain matters so much. Always choose plain Greek yogurt and add your own toppings instead. Fresh blueberries, cinnamon, a few oats, or a light drizzle of raw honey create a far more kidney-friendly combination while still tasting satisfying and comforting. And once you begin combining these foods together consistently, something important starts happening inside the body. Your mornings become calmer, your energy becomes steadier, your kidneys experience less inflammatory stress day after day, which is why the real secret is not perfection, but building a breakfast rhythm your kidneys can depend on long-term. At this point, some people start worrying that protecting their kidneys means following a strict diet or eating the exact same breakfast every single day. But that is not the goal at all. Healthy kidneys thrive on consistency, not perfection. What matters most is creating a simple weekly rhythm that steadily lowers inflammation, stabilizes blood sugar, and gives aging kidneys a gentler workload over time. One morning might be oatmeal with blueberries and cinnamon. Another could be 2 eggs with roasted sweet potatoes. On busier mornings, plain Greek yogurt with oats and berries may be enough to support healthier energy and digestion without overwhelming the kidneys early in the day. The beauty of this approach is that it feels sustainable instead of restrictive. You are not starving yourself. You are not following extreme trends. You are simply replacing highly inflammatory breakfast habits with foods that work with your body instead of against it. And over time, those small changes begin compounding quietly in the background. Less morning fatigue, fewer energy crashes, better hydration balance, more stable blood sugar, sometimes even improvements in swelling and overall kidney stress markers. Because kidneys usually decline slowly, but they can also respond slowly to consistent support. And that brings us to something I wish every adult over 60 understood before serious kidney problems ever begin. Your kidneys have been working silently for you every single day of your life, filtering toxins, balancing fluids, and protecting your body even while you sleep. But after 60, those tiny filtering systems become far more vulnerable to inflammation, blood sugar spikes, oxidative stress, and years of accumulated strain. That is why the foods you eat in the first hour of the morning matter so much more than most people realize. Today, we talked about some of the most powerful breakfast foods for kidney health: oatmeal to calm inflammation, eggs to provide cleaner repair protein, blueberries to reduce oxidative stress, sweet potatoes to support delicate kidney pathways, and plain Greek yogurt to strengthen the gut-kidney connection linked to kidney inflammation and rising creatinine. Small daily choices can create powerful long-term protection for aging kidneys. You do not need perfection overnight. You simply need to start giving your kidneys more support than they were getting before. Stay hydrated. Reduce processed breakfast foods. Move your body daily. And never ignore warning signs like swelling, fatigue, or foamy urine. If this video helped you, please save it for later. Like the video and subscribe to the channel for more trusted senior health and kidney health guidance from Dr. Happen. Lucas Grant. And before you leave, tell me in the comments, Which of these breakfast foods will you try first tomorrow morning?